Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is my first YouTube video. This is kind of going to be a video a little bit about me, who I am, what I do, how I got here, and hopefully where we are going from here. So let's get into it. I was born in Jacksonville, Florida, and I went to high school there, lived my whole life in the same house. It was a great childhood. And then I got to go to Florida Atlantic University for college, where I majored in communications and philosophy. Now, what do you do with that? I'm not really sure. I could have actually been a journalist. I had a job offer for that, but journalism's kind of crazy these days. I didn't want to get involved with that because you can't ever tell the truth. Unless you're like a YouTuber, you're kind of obliged to whoever is paying you. I didn't really like that. I like to say what I think and not get in trouble for it. Anyway, where was I? Went to college at FAU, loved it, and I decided to take a job with a event management company, and I ran golf tournaments for a while. I actually got to help out with the US Senior Open, which was really cool, but I would get moved around a lot, and I didn't really enjoy that too much. I wanted to kind of have a home base. I don't like jumping around a lot. So I had to soul search and find what was I really truly passionate about. And for me, that was jewelry. How do you kind of get into the jewelry world? A lot of people have asked me before. First of all, you can either work at a store, and that store will train you, hopefully, if they're a good store, and you'll become more and more knowledgeable. That would be the best way to get in. I decided to leave my job with the golf tournaments and pursue my passion of jewelry. And what really interested me was the actual study of gemstones and how you can tell that something is a topaz instead of an aquamarine. And how do you know the quality of a diamond, I1, SI1, VVS, what do they all mean? So I decided to go to the Gemological Institute of America in London. And this gave me the opportunity of a lifetime to make so many amazing friends from around the world. I had some of the best instructors in the world there, and I wouldn't give that part of my life up for anything. That was an amazing journey that I went on. And thankfully, I graduated in 2019 with my graduate gemologist degree, studied up on all those gemstones, how to tell if they're natural or lab grown or simulants, and then COVID hit. So unfortunately, I had to move back to the United States, where I'm originally from, and figure it out from there. Luckily, I got a job at a very high-end, well-known jewelry store, and they kind of trained me on the retail side of things because GIA doesn't really teach you about pricing. They kind of leave that part ambiguous depending on where you work. And I realized I was really good at sales. Unfortunately, I got on really well with the appraiser there, and she actually gave me a lot of her stuff when she decided to retire. So I had a huge blessing with her. She gave me her microscope. She gave me a whole bunch of books. She gave me some grading stones to grade diamonds against. She gave me so many tools, and a lot of them they don't even make today. So like her millimeter gauge is so cool. I have it laying out over there. And I started doing appraisals for people, which I was totally qualified to do because I was already a gemologist, but having those 2 years working retail really helped me kind of nail down pricing for different things. 2021, I was working and my dad passed away. So instead of kind of taking time off and, feeling those emotions, I kind of jumped right back into work and kept working through it. Well, a few months later, my brother actually got diagnosed with cancer. So that was another really difficult thing that, for some reason, I decided working through that trauma was better than just feeling it. And he ended up passing away on a day I was at work. And that was probably the hardest thing for me, and that's kind of the point where I realized it's not worth, the stress and the time consumption of working a 9 to 5 if you're starting to really, get irritated and irritable there and you're having a difficult time keeping a smile on your face, especially working retail. It can be really draining and really hard. So I actually met my current husband. I didn't meet him then. We met back at FAU in college, but we revisited conversations at that point, and he actually invited me on a sailing trip from Virginia all the way down to Martinique, which we did together, and it was my first time offshore sailing. And if you don't already know about sailing, it definitely builds character. It will make you who you are. From that point on, we got together. I took some much needed time away from everything back home, kind of processed a lot of things, and came back to St. Pete, where I ended up living with him on his boat for about 1.5 years, which was a crazy thing in itself because I had all of this really expensive jewelry testing equipment on that boat, and I would have to lug it off into a dinghy and then take the dinghy to shore and dock and then unload all this stuff. And God forbid it was raining, because then I would be all wet and the stuff would be all wet. And salt water and equipment, they just don't mix well together. So we had to eventually find a space on land so that we could just operate comfortably in this business. So fast forward a little bit, and we moved from St. Pete to the East Coast, and that's kind of where we are now. I have my own jewelry business. I have a website, www.jewelsbymarena. Go check it out. I'm kind of a one-woman show right now. I don't have anybody doing marketing for me. I don't have anybody really doing anything for me except for what I make myself. So what do I do now? I do jewelry appraisals. I actually go to different stores all around Florida, and I will do insurance appraisals for their customers. And you might be wondering what an insurance appraisal is. It's basically a statement of value for a piece of jewelry, and if you lose that piece of jewelry, that insurance appraisal is going to account for what the quality of that piece of jewelry was, what kind of metal it was, so that you could get a replacement if needed in the case of a loss. It's really interesting. It's so much fun to talk to people. I get a lot of people bringing in their grandmother's jewelry or their great-great-grandmother's jewelry and just educating them on that time period of jewelry, the different kind of diamonds that they have from different eras. It's just really, really fascinating and a very rewarding path to go down. So I highly encourage anybody who's a gemologist, try giving appraisals a try, because it's so much fun. So some other facts about me: I have 3 cats. I have Oliver, who I've had for about 11 years now. I have Copper, and I have Jelly Roll, who are the newest additions. And we actually just took them on a boat trip to the Bahamas for 2.5 weeks, and they did great. Oliver did try to push Jelly Roll overboard one time, but we fixed it. It was fine. Let's see. I also play golf. Big golfer. I don't play very much, though, because it is hot as heck in Florida right now. You won't catch me out there right now. Every Sunday night, I play pool on an APA team, so I'm big into that. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I'm probably forgetting some stuff, but if you guys have any questions about jewelry, gemstones, lab-grown diamonds, anything like that, go ahead and leave it below, and I will be happy to answer. Maybe I'll even make a video about it, but stay tuned. We're going to try to make some more YouTube content. I'm going to try to film the process of me fixing rings, doing things, and I so appreciate you guys for stopping by my channel and watching this video and getting to know me a little bit more. So until next time, bye.